Before we get started, let me get a little introduction real quick. I'm Jay Frager. This is my
Anthony
man over
McClean.
here. So we're gonna get started just by, like I said, it's the short intro, but I want you to tell everyone like about yourself. Where'd you play? He's a hooper. Let's get that out the way. But he does other things also, but we want to also know the beginnings, the start. So where'd you play high school at, and then when you went to college, where'd you play college ball at?
So at high school, I played at Transit Tech over in East New York. I played for Coach Ferrazzo, rest in peace his soul. After I graduated from Transit, I went over to BMCC. I played 2 years there, so from 2016 to 2018. After that, I graduated and I moved on to Brooklyn College, and I finished out my college career there.
Okay. What he didn't tell y'all, because he's humble like that, he's modest and everything like that, is he won championship at both schools. So he went to BMCC, played JUCO, got a championship, then went to Brooklyn College, got a championship there at a 4-year school. So he's a winner. But we also want to talk about other things. We're going to talk about this ball thing, but also what you're doing with the basketball.
Yeah, so I want to touch up on the championship aspect real quick. The JUCO level was definitely difficult, especially at BMCC. We were guard heavy, but one thing that I do think for my experience at BMCC was the brotherhood that I was able to connect with while I was there. BMCC honestly taught me how to win. So it sounds crazy, but I really didn't win anything until I got to BMCC. So we went to the championship our first year, freshman year. We lost to LaGuardia. Second year, we came back, went to the championship again. We ended up winning that. And then when I moved on to Brooklyn College, it was a little bit more difficult because the demographic was a little bit more different than what I experienced at BMCC. So when I got to Brooklyn, it was like it's a win now situation. So I was able to bring everything that I learned from BMCC on to Brooklyn College. And honestly, I was blessed enough to get a brotherhood over at Brooklyn College as well. So like I said, BMCC kind of set the tone for everything.
That's true. What made you pick BMCC and then Brooklyn College? What made you could have went probably anywhere?
So it's funny because people see my game now and probably think that, but I honestly couldn't just go anywhere. I only had 2 options out of Transit Tech. I only had BMCC and Queensboro. If I can go back, not saying that I didn't enjoy my experience at BMCC, because it honestly, like I said, it made me a winner. I learned a lot of things. I gained brothers that I still speak to today. But if I can go back, I would probably went to Queensboro because they had my major. So I was a physical education major when I went to Brooklyn College, but I was studying liberal arts at BMCC. So when I transferred over to Brooklyn College, a lot of my credits didn't transfer over. So I was kind of behind the pack a little bit. So even when I was finished playing basketball in 2020, a lot of people don't know that, I still had 2 more years left of school. So I was no longer a student athlete. I was just a regular student. So that ties into everything that we spoke about previously about why I got into coaching. Because I don't want kids to make the same mistakes that I made when I was going with the transition from high school to college.
Okay, so that's a good segue to now that you finished playing basketball in college, what did you do after that with this basketball thing?
So I always had a plan. It's crazy because I actually have a notebook at home dated back to 2014, and I write 5-year plans. So by 2019, I already knew that I wanted to start TYP. But I honestly, when I got to Brooklyn College in 2018, I was able to start it there because I had the support from my teammates. My BMCC crew were the first guys to know about it outside of like my brother Omar and my immediate family. They were the first guys to know about it in 2016, but I didn't really make it a thing until 2018 because I had to do a lot of research and whatnot. So right now I'm just doing a lot of community work. I'm giving back to the community. I have my own basketball event that I do every summer. I give back on Juneteenth, also have the Juneteenth Classic. I coach girls, Lady TYP. I also coach at LTG basketball, Loyal to the Game with Kavon Baker. So my life has just all been about giving back and giving back to the, to the community.
So now that years go by, I know that you said you would go to Queens College or Queensboro.
Queensboro.
If you could go back right now, right? Or if you could talk to your younger self, what would you have done different, or what would you give the advice to as your younger 18-year-old self just trying to find your way in college? Like, what would you say to that person?
That's a really good question. But I would definitely say the biggest thing I want to say, the most important thing I would probably tell myself it's to think outside the box. Don't just be tunnel vision to just basketball only. Because when I got out of high school, I've been underrated my whole life until I got to Brooklyn College, right? So that underdog mentality, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prove everyone else wrong. I'm not thinking about just proving myself right. I have so much, I gotta do this. So my decision was strictly based off of basketball. BMCC head coach at the time was Coach Nolan Adams. He was the first coach to reach out to me. Like, I was still in basketball season at Transit, and Coach Nolan invited me to BMCC to come and watch them play and watch practices and whatnot. So that was my first real experience, and I don't regret it at all. But if I can go back, I would definitely tell myself, like, hey, think about school. Don't just think about basketball.
Yeah.
Because the basketball is always going to be there, but you can't have basketball if you don't have the education.
That's definitely true. That's a good thing. You know, you're doing this coaching thing right now. What is your plan 5 years from now? You plan on doing this, you know, forever or for a while?
Honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but hey, it's my dream. I honestly want to help each and every single person that I come across. So when we talk about the children out here that play in the PSAL or the Catholic School League, whether it's a girl or boy, like, I want to be able to be that stepping stone, somebody that they could look up to, their role model, and guide them the proper way. Because I feel like what we lack in New York City, I'm not talking about worldwide, I'm talking about New York City. I think we lack the genuine love and care for these New York City kids. And I feel like that's when I go out to recruit, you know, my girls, and I go out to these basketball games, I see that our kids don't really have that much fun.
Yeah.
You got parents in the crowd yelling at them every time they make a mistake.
Yeah.
You got coaches losing their marbles every time a kid makes a mistake. And I'm not saying don't do your job, but you can't do that if that kid doesn't feel loved outside of the court. So my biggest goal is honestly to just keep elevating and doing what I'm doing now with the Juneteenth Classic, TYP Day.
Yeah.
I'm also having a breast cancer walk on October 26th with my Lady TYP program. So anything community related, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, honestly.
Wow, that's good.